number 3, I think. How's it going today, guys? So I just finished day 2 of the new workout plan and new diet. Well, I didn't finish day 2, I guess I just started day 2. Just finished the workout for day 2. Did a pull day. So started out with a little bit light cardio to get warmed up. Then some deadlifts, 4x10 on those, super lightweight, just trying to work on my form as I progress up through this cutting phase. Then we did some bent over rows, some hamstring curls, really drilling the hammies today, and some lat pull downs. And what else did I do? Lat pull downs. Oh, and we ended with biceps, so I did static curls. I don't know if you guys know about static curls, but I'll have to make a video on those later. Those are my new favorite bicep workout. Really gets the burn going. But then, yeah, then after the static curls, we hit leg raises and close grip curls to really finish off the biceps, and then always end it with some cardio to empty the tank. So we did the row machine today because, I mean, as far as pull day goes, I can't think of a better cardio exercise than to hit that rower. Just 2,000 meters, it's about 8 minutes for me, 8 to 10 minutes, depending on how I'm feeling. And yeah, that was the workout day. And then of course 20 minutes at the end of the sauna, and then I'll be back in there after work today to finish up with about 20 minutes of cardio. Probably do some active recovery cardio tonight, so nothing heavy. Probably just keep the BPMs around 110 to 120 just to keep some blood flow going, and jump in the sauna after that, and yeah, call it a night. But you know, honestly, today I'm going to talk about a little bit deeper level than working out. Today's kind of a weird day for me, kind of in my feels a little bit. And I know I'm not the only one that gets in my feels, so maybe I can share some stuff that help somebody, or I don't know, at least make somebody realize that they're not the only one that feels the way I feel right now. So about 3 months ago, my ex came home and told me she didn't want to be with me anymore. We have a 2.5-year-old child. Yeah, and so that was about as a hard a conversation as you can have. And then the next day I found out she'd been cheating on me with multiple guys for basically we've been married we were coming up, July would have been 5 years. And she'd been cheating on me with different guys since about 4 months into the relationship. And you know, the toughest part about the whole thing, the cheating was hard, whatever. That was a tough pill to swallow. I mean, I'm sure there's some other guys out there that have had that happen and understand the tough pill that is to swallow sometimes. You know, it definitely hurts the pride, and hurts the ego. It leaves room for a lot of doubt and a lot of insecurity. But, you know, that really wasn't the thing that hurt me the most. You know, the thing that hurt me the most was she said she, you know, didn't believe in me. And that's one of the reasons why she wanted a divorce. And I think that was probably the worst thing that I've ever been told. Because, I mean, I'm a dreamer, admittedly. I'm 27, so I'm far from figuring my dreams out. And I know a lot of what I want to do, but I haven't exactly figured out how I'm going to get there. I have some plans, I'm laying some groundwork, and you know, I work really, really hard. Don't fuck around a whole lot. You know, I kind of have my shit together when it comes to those things. So, and this main thing is I work on, you know, I'm running on fumes a lot of the times. So when you get told that, you know, someone doesn't believe in you, quite a few times. But regardless of that, I have been working hard. I have been getting back up, and I have been making goals and making plans to reach those goals, and thinking hard and working hard on those things. So to be told that someone doesn't believe in you is probably the most heartbreaking thing that I could have been told. And as I exited the relationship, I realized that it's never. It was May. That was May, and it's all coming up on August now. But we had really been. I haven't been in a relationship for the last year. Both of us have been disconnected. My number one coping mechanism. My number one toxic coping mechanism is dissociate. I've always done that. Since some of my earlier. I hate using the word trauma because it just feels like such a hot button word these days. But since my early struggles and my early hard times, disassociating is how I've always got through. Separate myself from how I feel, put my head down, and get done what needs to get done, because the world doesn't stop for me. The whole macho man way of handling things, because that's just, to be honest, I grew up in the South, and that's how the strong men, or at least what I considered strong for the longest time, that's what they did. They put their heads down, and they didn't talk about how they felt. They just figured it out and kept moving. And granted, sometimes you do have to do that. I'm definitely not discounting that too, because I think sometimes we have gotten a little bit soft these days. But it is okay sometimes to be sad and to be heartbroken. But that's not really what's got me in my feels today. That's just kind of the backstory of what's got me in my feels today, because right after that happened, I randomly met this chick, and everything in the book tells you that when you've just been shit on, and you've just been heartbroken, and you're just coming out of a serious relationship that you've been manipulated in more ways than one, and taken advantage of, and just not appreciated, all the things that you shouldn't be in a relationship is what I'm getting out of. So when someone else came along, it's not what I'm looking for. And we were very clear about that from the beginning. Not here for anything serious. We break up buddies. What have you. But, life being life, it doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you meet people, and although you may not be necessarily ready, it doesn't mean they're not the right person. Or at least, I guess I'll say potentially the right person, because who the fuck knows after a couple months. But, we started out as friends. We took things really slow. Didn't do anything other than friends for 2 months. Slowly feelings developed. I've never been I never took this route before. I've never, been strictly friends with someone for 2 months, where we text all day, every day, share dreams, share stresses, but there not be anything physical or any kind of sexual expectation, just purely just talking every day, and just, kind of, it's like a shaking heart today. And just figuring that part out. And then 4th of July happened. pants? Are we going to be girlfriend and boyfriend? And we had that conversation. It's a hard conversation because we're both terrified. I'm not the person that she's seen herself with, and honestly, she's not necessarily the person that I've seen myself with. We have different lives. She's smarty pants, going to school for a major degree, almost graduated. Or smarty pants going to school for something way beyond the scope of anything that I've dealt with. And I'm a single dad who is pretty simple, all said and done. And there's a real conversation to be had of, is this the lifestyle she wants? Because my daughter's not going anywhere, and she's the first love of my life. And for someone who doesn't have kids, someone who's a dog mom, that's a lot to handle. And I think for me, I'm kind of struggling with that because as much as I know that, I also know how I feel. And I know deep down how she feels, and she knows how she feels. And we both know that what we have, granted, albeit 2 or 3 months, albeit both off of long relationships, albeit timing isn't perfect, there's more there than anything I've felt in the past. And I've been married before, so it's like, I guess the round back to where I started this conversation about not being believed in is for the first time maybe in my whole life, I do feel like I'm believed in. I do feel like I'm supported. Yesterday I was talking about that having the weight of the world on your shoulders, and the difference and the feeling of having the weight on your shoulders and carrying it, and having the weight on your shoulders and your knees buckling. It can be the same weight, but it's 2 totally different feelings. If I want to get on Jim Bro on you and give you that breakdown, it's the same as like what it feels like to up your weight in squats. You put a certain amount on there and you get under it, and that shit's scary because you're like, I haven't put this much weight on my back before, and I'm about to go down into a very vulnerable position in a squat, and I hope that I can come back up. And she makes me feel, God, it's such a Jim Bro thing, such a Jim Bro analogy, but she makes me feel like I'm hitting a new max, like I'm putting myself in a vulnerable position, and I'm about to come back up with it. But she's having doubts, and they're valid, because like I said, this is a different lifestyle than she'd envisioned herself in. And I certainly didn't see myself getting into any kind of relationship this fast. And I find myself this morning in a really tough position because as she has her doubts, that makes me feel my own doubts, because it's hard not to go into self-preservation mode. It's hard not to disassociate and say, you know what, if you don't want this lifestyle, get lost. That's fine. No one's making you have this lifestyle. I'll go back to what my original plan was. Solo dolo, me against the fucking world, conquer some shit by my damn self. I don't need anybody else. I really don't. I was alone before I met my ex. I was alone before I met her. I was alone my entire childhood. I'm only fucking child, black sheep of the family. I love my family. They never see this, but I'm still a black sheep, and they know that too. I've been alone my whole life. Maybe that's part of my disassociation, and maybe why that's my comfort place is because it's a familiar place at least. I don't really know where I'm going with this. It's not a final thought, that's for sure. But I just found myself at a crossroads where I don't know how much more doubt I can take. I don't know if I can handle somebody doubting me. And granted, I know she's not doubting me, she's doubting what comes to me. But it's hard too, because on the other hand, it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal dating someone with a kid, because there's a seriousness that comes along with it really fast, because it's just how shit works. Like I have a daughter, and that just makes things more complicated. My daughter's not going anywhere, nor do I want her to go anywhere. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with a similar situation where you're, part of you, I guess it's just kind of like, I don't know, part of me says go defensive, go fucking ghost, and focus on me, and focus on improving myself, and worrying about what I can control, or what I can control, my habits, and my workouts, and my career, my work ethic, my mental. Then the other part of me says, hey man, be patient, because just because you're ready doesn't mean someone else is ready. Give that person time to figure out that I am the right person. Part of me appreciates the fact that she's thinking about it so hard, because deep down it means she cares. Deep down it means she doesn't want to fuck this up. She wants to make sure that before she all the way enters my heart, that she's going to stay there. And I really hope she does stay there. I really hope she figures that out. But I don't know, man. It's hard. It's really hard on both ends. So I don't know how much more I want to share on this right now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm telling you guys, other than just sometimes sometimes you just don't know. And I guess that's okay too, because it takes time to figure shit out. And just like yesterday, I was telling you guys that goals don't happen overnight, and shit takes time. I think that goes for relationships too. And maybe the fact that I'm just having such strong feelings off the bat is making me want to accelerate it even faster, and make her my girlfriend, and do all the things, because we act like boyfriend and girlfriend. I'll tell you that right now. If you see us in public, or you hear us talk about each other, you wouldn't know that we're not boyfriend and girlfriend. So as long as we're doing that, I guess, what does it matter? But then we go from doing that to days of doubt where we don't act like that. And I think that's where it's hard for me not to go get in my head, because I feel like I'm having to choose which day I'm boyfriend and which day I'm potential boyfriend. And it's out of my control, and that's fucking scary. And it's scary either way, really, because it's like the thought of being a boyfriend scares me too, man, because I have so much toxic shit to shed from my last relationship, and I don't want to bash my ex, because that's not positive, and she's the mother of my child, and I certainly have my shortcomings. I don't know if I ever truly loved her. I don't know if I was ever truly in love with her. I think that she convinced me that I did love her. I think she convinced me that we should be together. She convinced me that it would be okay, that she would take care of me, that I was ready for all the things that she put in my life, and I wasn't ready. And it's not her fault that I let her do those things, because I'm a man at the end of the day, and I have the ability, I have the ability to say no. I do feel like she took that ability from me to say no. Or I don't want to word it even like that. I do feel like that ability, I lost that ability. I gave that ability away. And I didn't really have to. I felt like I needed to. I felt like I had to. I felt like it was right at the time. But it wasn't. And I feel like I had a lot of resentment in our relationship because of it. And that caused a disconnect. Then I also feel like the things that she was doing and the way that she was acting and her not being ready for the things that she thought she was ready for also caused that disconnect. So it's complicated. So here I am going back and forth on two different relationships. Hopefully you guys can cross the paths there. But I don't know, man. Relationships are fucking complicated, and it's not black and white, and there's no easy answers, and I don't know. I really don't fucking know. I wish I could come in here and tell you guys this is what you do for a happy relationship. This is what you do for a happy life. This is how you get ripped. This is how you get mentally stable. This is how you become a millionaire. But I haven't figured those things out yet. And I don't know if there is any figuring those things out. I think those are things that are constant battles in your life that you have to kind of figure out on your own through trial and error, unfortunately. And that's going to lead to some nights where you do get 3 hours of sleep because you're worried about some bullshit person that fucked you up, and worried about some other not bullshit person that is having doubts, and you don't, I think that, I don't know, man, it's hard, man. It's really, really hard. Love and relationship is complicated as anything on this planet. I guess the moral of the story for me today is keep pushing, I guess, because regardless of how things feel today, they probably won't feel like this tomorrow. They probably won't feel like this next month. I have a really good feeling that this person is going to come around and realize, not have those doubts and be a super positive person in my life, which she's already been. I feel like I'm going to do the same for her, and I also have to realize that, just like I have my baggage and my hang-ups, she has her baggage and her hang-ups, and they're not going to be necessarily the same, and we're going to require different things, and sometimes that's going to make things difficult. I don't know. I hope that's not too sappy and mushy for you guys. I know this has started out as a workout thing, and now I'm telling you guys about my love life, so that's kind of weird, but I don't know. I feel like I needed to get that out. So thank you guys for that. Maybe somebody else is going through something similar and can give me some good feedback, or maybe that feedback will help somebody else deal with what they're dealing with, and just know that, that's just complicated for everybody. So, keep real, baby.